Just because I have, I've had cancer or I have cancer, doctors don't even know. Just because that's happened does not mean that I'm going to be destroyed by it. Doesn't mean that I can't achieve what I want to achieve. I don't know. I may live to be 150 years old, or I may get hit by a bus tomorrow. I have no idea. But what I do know is that in the moment right now of each and every day, I'm going to live it to the absolute fullest and dominate every single day. So,
hello everybody and welcome to Running from Comfort. Yes, I know my voice sounds a little raspy. I'm a bit sick at the moment, but regardless of that, today's show we have a very special guest. His name is Logan Sneed, and he is the founder and operator of a company called Fusion Lean. At 22 years old, Logan runs two companies, has just finished authoring his first book, which he tells us the title of today, and he's also a survivor of stage 4 brain cancer. At the age of 19, he was diagnosed with these stage 4 brain tumours. He's had them surgically removed, and he has been in remission ever since and uses keto and fasting as part of his protocol to keep that away. So in today's show, what we talk about is, we talk a little bit about keto, we talk about fasting and the health benefits of both. We also then talk about Logan's mindset, as what Logan does on his social media is that he documents his journey of him going out there and achieving his goals and dreams every single day, and he encourages other people to do the same thing. So we get stuck into that because I think it's great that he does that. I think it's awesome that we have people like Logan on the internet out there trying to encourage people and inspire them. And his story itself, it's quite an inspiring story. So look, I hope you guys enjoy today's show. So sit back, relax, and let me know what you guys think once you're done listening. So here's what I want everybody listening to do. If you enjoy today's show, please go to the platform that you're listening to this on, give it a rating and a review, and let us know we're listening. Me and Logan want to know what you guys think of today's show. So make sure you take a screenshot on your phone and upload it to your Instagram story and tag out at Logan_Fusion Lean and tag me at Galloways_take. Alright guys, and don't forget to subscribe to the show. And if you did enjoy it, make sure you share it with somebody else who will enjoy it. Alright, enjoy today's show.
cool.
All right, on today's show of Running from Comfort, we have from Austin, Texas, we have Logan Sneed, aka on the Instagram Fusion Lean. Logan, how are we today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. Now, Logan, would you like to introduce yourself to the people? Tell them what you do.
Yeah, my name is Logan Sneed. I'm the founder and CEO of FusionLean.com. I have online meal and workout keto plans for people, helping them transform and see the results that they want. And I'm a public figure. I'm an author of a book coming out in September. Public speaker and social media influencer.
Hey, and how old are you again?
22.
22. And let me get this correct. You run two coaching businesses. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
So you do the keto coaching and you also do the business coaching.
Yeah.
And you finished writing this first book as well. You're just getting it published. Is that?
Yeah, it's coming out in like late August or early September, one of the two. So yeah.
Oh, I look forward to it, man. I'm definitely going to pick up your book. That's 100%. That's on my reading list. But now I want to ask you, so are you the world's busiest 22-year-old? Two coaching businesses. You just finished authoring a book. How do you stay on top of it all?
I just love it, man. I just love the grind. I mean, I'm obsessed with the hard work. Like, it's just fun to me. So yeah, it's my hobby.
What got you into this hard work mentality? Like, have you always had that, or?
Yeah, I've definitely always had that, but I think what's really kept it there is seeing the results. Like whenever people don't put in hard work, they don't get results. When they put in hard work, they get results. And when you put in continued hard work, you get lifelong results. And that's exactly what I absolutely love.
Yes, no, and that's something that is like so true. So I think one of the things as well, which I've been learning, is like when you're setting yourself goals, is to like not just to set like goals, something in the short term, like I'm going to diet really hard for 6 weeks and lose a couple of kilos. If you set it up in a way where it's a lifestyle, then you find yourself in a position where you're setting yourself up to achieve like bigger goals.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So to to get started on this, so with the keto stuff, what initially got you into keto? What was the original reason why you got into that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I was always wanting to shred down. I was wanting to see some results. I didn't know what to do. And on top of that, I was diagnosed with a brain tumor. So whenever that happened, that was a whole stepping stone of like, needing to figure out what I could do. And so I had a friend tell me about the keto diet one time. And he said, hey, I was just in Hawaii and all these people in Hawaii do the keto diet. Now that you're fighting brain cancer, you should look into this. So, just being diagnosed with a brain tumor and, having stage 4 glioblastoma tumor, which is the worst ones out there, it really just motivated me. It said, you got either you live or die. That's you choose, And so obviously I wanted to choose the living one. So I had to do what it takes. And so I found keto.
Yeah. Wow. So I've got a few questions to ask on this. So one, how old were you when you were diagnosed with the brain cancer and was it stage 4 glaucoma tumors? Is that the right word? Sorry.
Glioblastoma.
Glioblastoma. All right. That's a tongue twister, but how old were you?
I was just almost 20.
Almost 20.
Yeah.
Man, how did you handle that initially when you were diagnosed? Like,
I wish I could tell you because it's like, it's almost indescribable. I felt so lost. I felt so weak. I felt absolutely worthless. I felt that my entire life, I felt like all my purpose was just gone. Like I felt completely worthless in every way that I could possibly think of. Because, if I'm going to be dying in 1 to 10 years, like the doctor told me is what will happen, then I'm like, why am I even here? So yeah, it was crazy.
How long did they say you had again? Sorry, 1 to 10 years?
Yeah, they said, Logan, you have about 1 to 10 years left to live. But obviously none of those things are like, that's their thoughts. And they never gave me the keto diet. They never gave me anything to try. They just gave me chemo and radiation. That was it. So yeah, man, it's crazy, crazy ride.
And like, what type of direction was your life? Like, what were you doing your life like at this moment? Was it different to what you're doing now?
Yes, I was doing like a ton of carbs every day. I was doing 400 grams of carbs a day, almost 4,000 calories a day. I was trying to bulk up. I was like destroying my body in the gym. I just would train until I couldn't walk anymore. And I just thought that was the right route to go. And and then now that I've transitioned, it's definitely helped in so many different ways. And, it's just changed me.
Yeah. And just going back again, just one more time. So you're almost 20. So you're 19, about to turn 20. You're being told you have anywhere from like 1 to 10 years to live. Like just me personally, I could not imagine that. Now, what started to shift in your mindset moving forward to come out of that? Because you obviously don't have that mindset now.
Yeah, it just like, I've had a lot of people doubt me in my life. I've had a lot of, obviously, doctors doubt me. I've had a lot of people trying to say, oh, no, you probably shouldn't do that. You won't be able to start a business. You won't be able to achieve this. And I'm like, do I want to listen to that or do I want to create my own life? Like, why am I chasing this and why not go create it? And so that's what motivated me. It said, I want to achieve something huge. I want to conquer this brain tumor and I want to conquer, my own goals of starting a business, So it came down to me wanting to achieve my goals or wanting to live in the circumstances that other people were giving me.
Yeah. So essentially what your attitude was, you weren't willing to accept that. And like, let's be real, right? A doctor says you have 1 to 10 years to live, right? You have every excuse to not do all these things you're doing right now. You have every excuse in the book.
Yeah, no, exactly right. 100%.
But yeah, you weren't willing to take that path. So something that I find very interesting, because I did the keto diet for a while. So, and I want to take it back here now. So how does a keto diet mesh with your cancer treatment? And what is it about keto that's helping to keep the cancer away now?
Yeah, so basically, obviously some people may know, but the keto diet is where your body's using fat as fuel to allow your body to starve cancer or prevent tumor regrowth. right? And there's even people who have had a tumor, and the keto diet has helped shrink the tumor. So basically, that's what I've done, is to develop a new way that my body is functioning off of fat. So if I'm using fat as fuel, it's starving of cancer in every way possible. And that's what I do every single day, is reduce inflammation, reduce stress, and overall starve cancer, doing everything I can to do that. So that's what the keto diet has done for me. And I've lost over 50 pounds doing it. It's just
shredded.
Yeah. It's helped me in so many ways. So yeah.
Yeah. And what other benefits do you also feel like you get from the keto diet that maybe other people could benefit from?
Yeah. I mean, stress, anxiety, I would say cravings. I think people can always have a lot of cravings of like, I want this food, I want to eat this. But because I brought in fasting with keto, it's cut down cravings 100%. And it's helped me become more grateful for food and things that I have and stuff like that. So
yeah, and I want to get back to fasting soon. It's something that I practice, but just take it back just a little bit more. So with the keto stuff, none of your doctors would recommend that. Is that correct?
Correct. They said they had no idea what it is.
Did you have any doctors advise against that, or?
No one advised against it, but none of them said, "Oh yeah, do that." I worked with one nutritionist who is not a real doctor, but he was a world-class nutritionist who said, "Yes, do that, do that, do that. Don't listen to your doctors. You need to do it." So, yeah, that definitely, helped out, me actually doing it a lot. So,
yeah. And then what got you into the fasting side of things?
Yeah, so what got me into fasting was just overall knowing, like I did more research on what autophagy is and what, real intermittent fasting can do, especially for cancer patients. So I knew in my head, I'm like, well, if I'm doing fasting and I'm doing keto, that's kind of like a 2-in-1 combo. So why not do both? Okay, let's do both and see what happens. So now that I brought in fasting, it's helped me obviously starve more potential cancer. It's helped me reduce cravings. It's helped me become grateful. It's helped me live in the present time and not thinking about food. It's helped so many different ways, reducing inflammation. All that.
And at the moment you're doing, what is it? How many hours do you fast every day?
Yeah, 20 to 22 hours.
And how long have you been doing that for?
I've been doing this for more than 30 days.
More than 30 days. And how do you feel as opposed to the 30 days beforehand?
Yeah, so I've done fasting for a while. So I used to do 16-hour fasting. Then I did 18-hour. And then now I'm like, okay, let's go to 20. So now, ooh, bless me. Oh, man. I would say that in general, I feel great. I really do. And I think what it's helped me with is my thoughts of food and my improved productivity. Because I know sometimes we're like, it's lunchtime. What are we going to do?
That's me.
Okay, let's go make something. And it just takes you right off, track. So I've been so much more productive in just focusing on getting everything done. And then boom, okay, now it's time to break the fast. It's towards the end of the day, you're good to go. So.
Yeah, so it's get your food in, then, I don't know, do you follow basketball? It's NBA playoffs are on.
Oh, yeah.
You're from Texas. So I got to ask, Houston or San Antonio?
I'm a San Antonio fan, dude.
Good choice, man. Good choice.
See this right here? That's an autographed Kawhi Leonard jersey.
Oh, how do you feel? How do you feel about Kawhi these days, though? I mean, he kind of just ditched on the franchise a little bit.
I got to put myself in his shoes. I respect him. He's my favorite player. He's just so humble. He deserves all that he's getting.
What about that game winner? What was it? Was it yesterday, I think? Or the day before?
Yeah, I predicted it. I said, watch, Kawhi's going to hit a game winner. And it actually happened. So.
What about that laugh, though? What about his laugh?
Yeah, he's just that's what I like about him. He's like a little kid, It's he doesn't need to show anybody how good he is or successful he is. You can just see it, and he's just a good kid. He enjoys it.
Yeah, he is. For anybody listening, though, that has not seen this or doesn't know what we're talking about, even if you don't care about basketball, just go Google Kawhi Leonard laugh, because it's a clip of him and it's great. It's fantastic. But all right, we strayed a little bit away off topic there, but that's all right.
All good.
So in terms of that fasting, what is like the longest fast you have done?
Yeah, I've done 48-hour fasting. I've done it twice. So yeah, 48 hours.
And are there extra benefits for going on those prolonged fasting protocols?
Oh yeah, massive benefits. There's autophagy that is stimulated in the body, where you're basically going in and you're getting rid of all white blood cell count, and you're rejuvenating all those cells to another level. So yes, absolutely. There's even more science in it of like recycling, cycling out dead cell. Like there's so many factors of this sort of thing, of completely detoxing the whole body and basically putting the whole body to rest, and allowing your body to rejuvenate and then amp up a level, if that makes any sense. There's so much science behind it. Yeah, super beneficial.
Yeah, I think my understanding is, and this is just from watching Thomas DeLauer, is that, yeah, like as you were saying before, it's like a recycling of damaged cells and then turning them into new/stronger cells, essentially. Is that kind of what's going on? Yeah, because I think I did a fast only a few weeks ago. I went 67 hours. I think that was a challenge. Like the 48-hour mark, like I felt pretty good up to there, but that last day, I could not get my mind off food. It was just like,
yeah. It's hard, man. I mean, I know what those 2 days are like. I mean, I don't know what's longer than that. The reason I haven't taken it longer is because I've lost so much weight that I don't want to lose any more weight, you know? Yeah, I know what that's like, man. It really is a challenge.
Yeah. And so now you're in the business of teaching people. So do you incorporate fasting with your meal plans with the Fusion Lean stuff?
Yeah, it really depends on the client, on if they want that or not. But we kind of go through a process of like starting off with like maybe 12-hour fasting, not much fasting at all, just to adapt to the keto diet. Then we go to 16 to 18-hour fasts. Then we go from there to maybe one meal a day or the carnivore diet or, adjustments, however.
Yeah, okay. So you're like slowly easing them into it. And what I think is really cool, if none of you guys have seen Logan's Instagram, which is @FusionLean, this is like one of the first things I noticed about you. I think it was how I first came across you. When I was doing keto, I'm searching for meal ideas. I'm on the Instagram and I see this plate of food and it's like so perfectly lined up. And that's it. That's like your trademark, I would say.
Yeah, man, it's the work I put in every day for that thing.
Do you specifically just line it up for the gram, or is that like?
That's really the only reason. Is like I'm like, all right, I'll get a cool picture for YouTube and Instagram, because I'm like, I'm not gonna make crazy recipes, but I'll make a simple recipe look like a crazy recipe, So.
Yeah, no, it looks really good. So check that out if you haven't. But like what you said there, you said you're not going to make anything crazy, keep it simple. Do you find that important in terms of dieting itself?
Yeah, I mean, I think it, again, depends on the person. Some people love crazy recipes, but I think like if people are just wanting simple things, then yes, keep it simple, keep it healthy, keep it enjoyable. If you're putting those things together, that's where it's not even a diet. It's just your lifestyle and you absolutely love it. So, yeah, I mean, that's just what I love about doing it.
Yeah, essentially it's about setting yourself up for success.
Yeah, exactly.
It's obviously you're passionate about helping people find change if you're doing this as your business. Where does that stem from?
Yeah, man. I mean, if I can conquer my own odds, then why can't anybody else? Does anybody want to come with me in conquering their own odds? I would say yes, they do. So come along with me, and that's what helps me. That's what motivates me in investing my time and my efforts into these other people as well.
Yeah. Okay. So, and I like what you're saying there, like do it with me. So is that like one of your emphases when you're coaching people? It's like, hey, I'm in the mud here with you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, here's where I was, here's where I am now. I know how to get there. So let's go through this together. So it's like point A to point B, but what's in the middle? Well, here it is right here. Here's what you follow, and I'll do this with you,
Yeah. And just out of curiosity, do you have like any other cancer patients that are your clients or former clients or anything like that have come through and had any success?
Yeah. No, I definitely have had cancer patients, diabetics, all that sort of stuff. And yes, I've had them see great results, but obviously I disclose on there that like I'm not a cancer treatment doctor or anything like that. But yeah, I've had people of all PCOS. I mean, diabetes, gallbladder issues. I mean, so many different things I've definitely come across.
Yeah. And especially like other things that it's been really good for as well that I have heard, like, I mean, definitely diabetes. So my dad just recently got diagnosed as pre-diabetic, and I was just at home and I was like, all right, you know what you need to do? You need to stop eating carbs and get on keto.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I might have to send him your way, get him a meal plan.
Yeah, sure, dude. Absolutely.
But one of the other ones I've heard that it's meant to be really good for as well is multiple sclerosis. I'm not sure if you're familiar with any of that, but
yeah, I don't know much about it, but I have had people say that they have that and they want to know how to fix it. So yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah. And in terms of like, so what you're doing out there, so you're promoting the keto and the fasting, do you see this as almost like a bit of a purpose for you, like a mission?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's why it's like, that's what motivates me is like, I feel it happened for a reason, I mean, because that's what my book is about is like, my book in general, I haven't actually told the title, but I will tell the title to you guys on here. So everyone has the saying of F cancer, it's just kind of a regular American, at least, sort of thing is just F cancer. My book's going to be called F cancer, but it'll be crossed off and it'll say, thank you, cancer. Because yeah, like we wouldn't be chatting here if I didn't have any cancer. I probably wouldn't even know you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's given me so many opportunities, in my life.
Wow. Thank you, Cancer is the name of the book. Oh, wow. I really dig that name because now some people might not quite understand if they haven't heard your stuff before, but I was watching one of your YouTube videos recently and you were talking about this and it really struck me. You're saying about how you took that cancer, something that, most people are like, oh, F cancer, whatever this, and you're like, nah, this was like my biggest challenge. And what you've been able to do with that is turn that into like your biggest strength.
Yeah. It's like, it's not something that's taking me down. It's something that's building me up, So yeah, it's just taking something that's just dirt and a bunch of nothing to gold into a diamond,
Would you say it's one of your like bigger driving factors?
Or what, the cancer in general?
Yeah, like bouncing back from that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, just because I have, I've had cancer or I have cancer, doctors don't even know. Just because that's happened does not mean that I'm going to be destroyed by it. Doesn't mean that I can't achieve what I want to achieve. I don't know. I may live to be 150 years old, or I may get hit by a bus tomorrow. I have no idea. But what I do know is that in the moment right now of each and every day, I'm going to live it to the absolute fullest and dominate every single day. So yeah, definitely motivates me.
And that definitely, I suppose, like I said, live life to the fullest every single day. And I suppose that would be one of the reasons why I would say you are likely one of the busiest 22-year-olds in the world.
Yeah, I like that.
So that was obviously the drawing inspiration to write the book, but when did you begin to start writing this book? Like how?
Yeah, I started it about a year and a half ago, actually. I remember the moment that I was sitting on my couch right behind me, I was like, you know what? I think I could write a book. Like, I don't really know what I'll talk about, but I think I could do it. I was like, I'll talk about my story and see where it goes. So I started writing it, and I got really, really stressed about it. I'm like, oh no, I don't even know what to write now. I'm like, oh gosh, this has to be perfect writing. I can't make any errors or whatever. And then so I was like, hold on, like you're only 21. You haven't even really experienced much to write about, so let's put it aside and we'll come back a few months. So I put it aside for a few months. and I just kind of, lived my life. And I'm glad that I did that because I experienced so much more new things, not for the better, but also for the better, that I now have included into the book. And so I came back a few months later and I said, okay, let's get writing again. And so I wrote 1 page a day, and I just never set any dates, just 1 page a day. That was it. And I finished it. And now I'm like, wow, all right, let's see what we can do here. And so now I'm working with David Goggins, publisher. Those who don't know, he's top selling. So I'm working with his exact team, like all the same people that he works with in my book. And so, yeah, it's just coming along. It's, again, just a few months away.
Are you about to be a best-selling author then? Is this happening?
That's exactly what's going to happen. 100%.
I'm rooting for it. I don't like if this is stuff in the book that you don't want to share, like I won't go into it, but you said some things happened in between the time you put the book down to coming back to write the book. Is there stuff from there that you'd be willing to share, or?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I was like, well, I just need to experience more life. And so what I was going through was, you've achieved this, you've done this, you're growing. It's amazing. But are you really happy with where you're at? Like, are you really happy with yourself? And it's not that I wasn't happy, but I was always living in severe stress because I was getting so much social media hate of like, oh my gosh, you're doing this diet thing. That's a load of crap right there. When keto was so new, nobody knew about keto. And I was getting so much hate for it. I really didn't have any friends at all in my life because they were all in like college, And so I felt very lonely. I felt very a little worthless. It's like I just didn't really have friends, but I had social media. So it really kind of took me down. I spent that time, growing, developing, and understanding really more what it takes to grow as a person.
Yeah. So what did you find out it took to help you grow as a person? What were some of the bigger things?
Yeah. New habits, new habits every day. I would wake up every morning in the past and I would like look at my phone right away. I'd respond to the messages in the comments like ASAP because I didn't want, to have the comment not responded to, like I was freaking out like that. But now I'm like, well, hold on, look, either you let the phone and the social media control your mornings or you control your morning. And so I'm like, okay. So I started morning routine, meditation, stretching, push-ups, motivational video, reading, journaling, all that sort of stuff. I started doing that every single day. Helped my day. I started challenging myself. So I'd get out of my comfort zone. I would do certain challenges that would, discomfort me, but help me grow. And I started doing these things over and over again. And that's what's just helped me become so mentally strong.
And what were some of the challenges you give yourself to get out of your comfort zone? Do you have any examples?
Yeah, I got some examples for you. Recently I just did one. I ran 30 miles in one day. Yeah. And so long story short, and this is actually in my book, but I had a friend come up to me randomly one day at the coffee shop that I haven't seen in a while. Long story short, he was like, hey, Logan, me and Jake here, we've been training for doing this 50 miles in one day for a long time now. You want to join us on Sunday? And I'm like, I literally haven't even done cardio in 4 years. Like I haven't done cardio at all. I just don't need to do cardio. And they were like, oh, come on, just try it. Just see how far you can get. And I'm like, wow. Okay. Where do I want to challenge myself or do I want to just kind of be satisfied? And I'm like, I'll challenge myself. So yeah, we ran, I completed 30 miles. They completed 50 because they trained for this whole thing. But I ran 30 miles in one day with absolutely no training at all. So
hey, man, 30 miles, no training. That's impressive, man.
It was pretty psychotic.
Now that we've brought this up, I just want to quickly shout out one of my old guests from a previously released podcast. I had a guy on, Chris Dalton. He did 200 kilometers nonstop. So I'm not sure what that is in miles, to raise money for a charity. He didn't get to run the whole way. I think his legs were getting a bit too heavy, but he didn't stop.
Yeah, wow. I wish my race was, money to charity, or else I would have maybe I would have completed 50. Yeah.
But man, 30 miles, that's a lot. I don't think I've ever ran more than about, 5Ks,
Really?
miles in one go.
Yeah, it was hard, man. It was so hard.
Running has never been my thing.
Yeah.
Something I want to talk to you about though. So you said when you're waking up in the morning and you'd open your phone, like you said, it was controlling you a bit. So you have, is about 170,000 followers on Instagram.
Yeah, about that, 160-ish thousand.
And you're still out there trying to get back to every DM, every comment, or?
Yeah, man. I'm always trying to. I mean, that's kind of what I do for a living. You know, is just engaging and being there for clients and other people. So yeah.
Yeah. So this is a question I asked Goody. He actually didn't want to answer this. He said it's too much, but I'll ask you this. Do you have any idea roughly what your screen time is with your phone?
As far as Instagram?
Oh, yeah. We'll say just Instagram.
I think it's like 3.5 hours, 4-ish hours.
Okay. You see, at the end, I don't even think that's that bad because I think a lot of people spend roughly about the same amount of hours. I think it's somewhere like 2.5 to 3 hours a day is like the average screen time for a person. I might have got that completely wrong. I've only just heard that number thrown out before. But for someone like you with a lot of followers who's actually running it as a business and doing that productively, I'd say that's pretty good.
Yeah, I literally don't even spend time scrolling through my pictures. Like I literally don't even, that's not how I even use Instagram. So yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, it could be a lot longer.
But yeah, you said it was controlling morning. Because the other thing I was saying was it is really like a double-edged sword that we have with these devices, with all the social media, I think, because there's so much potential to be able to get so much done and to have so much good out there. So let's say someone like you, you're out there on Instagram every single day. You're posting something useful. You're posting something that could help somebody, that could potentially change their life. And what a lot of us will probably do on our smartphones, myself included, is we'll scroll all the way down our Instagram feeds, Facebook feeds. My advice is I watch too much YouTube.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, I mean, I watch YouTube too, but I like to, when I eat, I just make my meal, sit here and watch YouTube. It makes it fun.
That's all I do. I think for like the last 5 years of my life, I don't think there's a meal I've eaten without YouTube in front of me.
Yeah. It's my TV time. It's like just right here, just chilling.
That's cool, man. That's cool. But yeah. All right. And so moving forward, I've noticed recently what you've been posting a lot of is the books you've been reading. So I wanted to ask, is there a particular book that's one of your favorites or one that might have influenced you the most?
I would say How to Win Friends and Influence People, I would say is one of my favorite. Gosh, I got so many books. I would say, Be One Thing. I would say one that's called Ego is the Enemy. I would say The Obstacle is the Way. Those are just some of the ones off the top of my head that are just amazing books.
Yeah, okay. How to Win Friends and Influence Them. I've had that one recommended to me a few different times. What was it about that book that you liked?
It's just kind of like putting yourself into a different perspective and understanding, like, when we get into arguments, it's like we never really put ourselves in somebody else's shoes. And I haven't read it in a while. It was one of my first books, but that is just, it just changes your mind in so many ways that you never really thought. Yeah, man, it just correlates to almost every facet of your life. It's really powerful.
I wish I could read every day. I'm a bit of a lazy reader. So for me, audiobooks is generally what I do. I do like to read, but so you have read Cant Hurt Me by David Goggins, haven't you?
Oh yeah. That was another one of my favorite books. Yeah. It's intense.
That was one of my favorite books. Have you listened, by any chance, have you checked out the audio version of that one?
No, I haven't, but I know how that kind of goes. It's him doing it.
Yeah, it's almost like they break up sections of the book and do like a mini podcast. It's really cool. It's one of the cooler things I've come across. Yeah. Are you going to do an audio book of yours?
Yeah, I think we might do that. I can't remember exactly, but I think down the road is when we might bring that on.
Okay. Are you thinking about doing the narration yourself, or?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I would say if we did do that, I would say, yeah, probably me.
And so the other thing you've recently gotten yourself into is business coaching. What got you started into that?
Yeah, so I guide people in starting their own 6-figure online fitness business. I show them like, hey, if I'm able to do this, you can do it too. There's nothing special about me. Like, I want to show you exactly how I've done this. If this is something you want, like, I guide you through my whole process that's gotten me to where I am now. And people are absolutely loving it. My clients are seeing great results. It's just so much fun to see their success without having crazy amount of followers, without, being, YouTube popular, whatever. Like, it's just so much fun to go through this with them.
Yeah. And did you teach yourself how to start your own online business yourself?
Yeah, I literally did. I just experimented, tried. And obviously it helped grow me in many ways doing that.
Yeah. And what sparked your initial idea to start your own online business?
I just saw other people doing it, and I was like, well, I want that. I don't want to go to a job, or I don't want to like go to the same place every single day. I want to just do what I want to do, where I want, when I want, and how I want.
Yeah. And would you, here's another question. Could you be doing this now if you hadn't have been diagnosed, or would you have been on a complete different path right now?
I still think I would be doing something like this. I don't know. I mean, I definitely would. I've always had an entrepreneur mind, so I definitely would have an online business, but I don't know what it would be about. It probably would be nowhere near keto or anything like that. So, yeah, I mean, I've always been an entrepreneur.
You're doing, what'd you say, 4,000 calories a day. You would have been one of those if it fits your macro guys.
Oh, yeah, probably, man. For sure.
And what are some of the challenges that you come across now on a day-to-day basis with what you're doing?
Oh man, I would say being patient. That's kind of one of my weaknesses is just being patient. I got to realize like, hey, look, like you're coming out with a book. It's going to be here in a few months. Relax. The day will come. Live in the present moment and know what you have right in front of you. So yeah, I would say just being patient, man, is really something I'm working on.
And I don't know if you have an answer to this, but why would you say it's important to live in the present moment?
Yeah, I mean, if we're not living the present moment, then when are we ever happy? We're always chasing something. So, it's like, if we're living in the future, we're always stressed. If we're living in the past, we're always probably hurt or we're feeling weak. But if we're living in the present is when we can start actually being happy. So,
yeah, and that kind of makes you grounded. And I think that might go back to what you were saying in terms of like fasting. You said, when you fast, you feel more grateful. Is that because you're less focused about your next meal? And like,
yeah,
that gets me all the time. Like I'll be at work and, like, let's say I know what I'm eating for breakfast. I have my lunch meal prep and it's like 3:00 in the afternoon. I'm like, what am I going to cook for dinner tonight? Oh, how's it going to fit my macros today? Oh shit. Yeah. I still need to go to the gym. And it's like,
yeah,
second the mind starts racing.
Exactly, man. That's why I absolutely love fasting.
And the other thing too, this is something I make a conscious effort of, is to put the phone away. I really believe when people are constantly on their phones, you like miss out on being in the present moment because you're trying to be somewhere else almost. You're talking to somebody else or being engaged somewhere else. So like something that I always try and like, maybe encourage friends of mine to do as well is just, hey man, you're stressed all the time and you're always worried. Like, have you ever thought to just put your phone down, take a step outside and just go,
yeah. Yeah, I know. I do that all the time, dude. I really do. It's amazing.
Yeah, man. It's funny like how much for granted we take just, being present, being grounded. Like
no, for sure, dude. It really is powerful, It's how you grow. It's how you create the best version of yourself.
And what do you think is the most important thing in terms of personal growth and development?
I mean, it's every facet of your life, your diet, your habits, the people you're around, the things you are doing on a daily basis, the action you're taking, and being consistent with it. Yeah.
And let's say someone listening, they're thinking, I'd like to make some form of change in my life. I want to grow personally. Is there anything you would, recommend as like a starting point? Like what would be the first thing you tell someone that says, I want to make change in my life?
Yeah. I mean, you want to make change. So like stop waiting and start doing. People think like I got to wait for the right time, the right day. No, it's right now. Take advantage of right now and make the change happen. Don't wait for it because it's never going to come to you. You have to go get it,
Yeah, no, everything out there in life is just there to get like when you want it. So that's something that I realized too. I mean, I'm still new trying to start my own podcast, but like one of the things that I learned very quickly was that, if I want to do this, I just have to do it. Like, if I want to talk to this person, I just have to reach out to them.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you just got to take risks. I mean, 100%.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, half the time what you might internalize as a risk isn't even really a risk.
No, I know. It's an opportunity, really, is what it is.
I'm going to shout out another podcast real quick. School's Over Now What? Sean R. Anthony is the host. He just had GC, Grant Cardone on a couple of weeks ago on an episode. I think I just saw you're reading his book, aren't you?
Yeah, I am right here. The 10X rule. Great one.
The 10X rule. I might have to get myself into that. But what he said on there, which I thought was so powerful, is like, if you're going to make a mistake, make it fast so that you can hit the bottom and then bounce right back up. And I was like,
yeah, exactly. That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah. So do you because we were talking about this in video recently, do you still fear failure?
If I fear failure, I know what it takes to defeat fear. And that's action. That's continued hard work. So fear or failure has definitely been a fear of mine, but I know how to face it, and I know how to be its controller, be its pilot, and not let fear control me.
I like that. Yeah, I've heard that before. Taking action is the antidote to fear. I like that one.
Yeah, 100%.
So what type of action do you take on a daily basis?
I mean, it's my hard work through social media, the content, my diet, habits, on a day-to-day routine is just continued hard work, doing the same thing again on getting bigger and better results. It's consistency.
All that. Yeah. And from Grant's book, do you have any takeaways yet? I'm not sure how far through the book are you, but is there anything in there that's really stuck out to you yet? Or
yeah, I mean, it's called taking massive action, not just taking action. It's called massive action. And that's 10Xing your goals, 10Xing your day-to-day life in every facet. Don't set little goals, set extremely massive goals. And if you set extremely massive goals and you slightly fall short of an extremely massive goal, then boom, you already exceeded your first expectations. Because when we set little goals, we set little limitations, and then our mind is shifting towards just achieving the goal and not exceeding it. So yeah, take massive action and massive goals.
Massive action and massive goals. Okay.
Wow. Yeah, man.
That's big. Yeah, because I think I'm someone myself. Sometimes I think I've tried to be too ambitious with some things I set myself, and generally I just end up getting intimidated. But that's something I might take into consideration. Would you recommend that book?
Oh yeah, 100%, dude. It's a great book. I love it.
All right, I think that might have to be the next one on my reading list then.
Yeah, dude, check it out. It's definitely a killer one.
All right, all right. So I understand you must be damn hungry. You're like what? 20? What are you, nearly 22 hours fasted now?
Oh, I mean, I broke the fast at like 21, but.
Oh yeah, that's right. You had some snacks. What's the snacks? What's your favorite keto snack?
Peely nuts. Peely nuts are definitely my favorite. Peely nut butter, I love. Pork rinds, those are just great keto snacks. I love them.
Yeah, I do like pork rinds. And you also have a big emphasis on organic food. Am I correct on that?
Yeah, organic food. I only buy a very high quality food because, we can always put in numbers. We can say, I'm eating this many carbs and this many this and that. But it's really, what are you putting in your body is the question. So yeah, I definitely buy organic food, 100%.
Yeah, definitely one thing doing keto opened my eyes up to is just how much junk the normal person eats on a day-to-day basis.
I know, it's bad, man. It really is bad. It's crazy.
And I mean, it's crazy because, Australia has gotten just as bad as America in terms of the obesity epidemic as well. And I mean, I'm torn between you almost can't blame people because it's almost like we're brought up to, think that these are fine foods to eat constantly, fast food's so cheap, snack food's so cheap. You want to buy something good. I'll tell you what, man, at my local grocery store, I end up spending more money on vegetables than meat.
Oh yeah, for sure. Me too. I mean, it's no, I know 100% what you're talking about, dude. Yeah.
But if I wanted to just snack out on a bag of chips or some chocolate, man, it's going to cost me a couple dollars. It's no hurt for the wallet.
Yeah, I know. It's awesome. I love pork rinds. Yeah, dude.
But yeah, no. At the end of the day, Yeah, it's just one of those difficult things. But, you know, I would hope that maybe sometime in the future we either make healthy food more affordable, or we at least educate people more on their food choices. Because I think people eat their way to an early grave, and some of them probably do it unknowingly as well.
Oh, you're 100%, dude. I mean, because, at least living in America, it's really bad in America. Just so many food options are right in front of us, and we're always taking advantage of whatever it is. It's like, oh, I want that. I want that. I want that. You don't need it, but you want it. So, yeah.
Not to mention marketing, because it's always in your face as well.
Absolutely.
One we've got in Australia at the moment, Domino's Pizza.
Mm-hmm.
They got text message marketing, and like if they get your phone number once, you get like I still get it. You get like 3 of them a week.
Jeez.
Maybe more. And it's like I'm just sitting there thinking like, man, if I wasn't more disciplined, dude, like
yeah. No, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. We have those here as well.
So yeah. All right. Well, look, I think it's been a great chat. So if people want to find you, where can we find you?
Yeah, Instagram, if they just look up Logan Fusion Lean, I'll be on Instagram there, or YouTube is just Logan Sneed. They'll find me there as well. So yeah.
And can I get you guys to do me a favor? If you have enjoyed this podcast and if you've learned something today, can I get you to take a screenshot on your phone of you having a listen to this? And I want you to tag out Logan at Fusion Lean. Let him know that you're tuning in. I want you to tag out me at Galloway's_take. And if you've got something to learn, let me know. And if you want to reach out, hit me up on the DMs. I don't know, hit Logan up on the DMs. You got questions, you'll answer. All right, man. And when's your book dropping again? Just one more time.
Yeah, late August or early September. There's not an exact date yet. We'll have that probably in about a month.
Probably in about a month. All right. Yeah. Okay, I look forward to it. So also, if you're out there, go cop a copy of Logan's book if you're listening. I'll be giving it a read. And yeah, we got a future New York Times #1 bestseller right here.
That's the goal.
That's the goal. All right. That's all for today. All right.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, guys, that is the conclusion of today's show. I hope you have enjoyed, and if you have made it this far, thank you so much. But hold up. If you did make it this far, that means one thing. You enjoyed today's show. I know you did. So make sure you go give this show a rating and review on whatever platform you've listened on. And please share this with somebody else who you think could be impacted by this story or could learn something from this conversation. And don't forget, take a screenshot, put it up on your Instagram story, tag at Logan_Fusion Lean and at Galloway's_take. I'll see y'all next week.